Hey Stamping friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon, and today it is Wednesday's kit class, and we're using the Pampered Pets stamp set to make 4 different cards. Go ahead and hold while I flip, and I'll tell you more about it. All right, that's what's not so crooked for you guys. 1 second. Sorry. I don't want you to have to look at this crooked the whole time, so let me just fix this real quick. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. It's tilted just a little bit. 1 second. Maybe. There we go. Let's see. Sorry about that, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there for that craziness. We'll try to get that out of the original video. I just snapped that off of my tripod, so that's why it was tricky to stay on, and hopefully it stays on without me having to adjust it too much throughout. We're just going to put it like that. Hopefully we'll be good. All right, everyone. All right, so we have 4 different card designs, and we're using the Pampered Pets stamp set and bundle, which includes its dies, and also the Playful Pets DSP, Designer Series paper. So this is one of the cards. We have 4. I have 2 doggy cards, and we have 2 kitty cat cards that look like that. And we have everything in these little containers to make these cards. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let me tell you how the Wednesday's kit class works. You can get this whole kit for free when you place an online order between now and Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. All you have to do is use this hostess code, and I will automatically know that you want this kit for free. And I will send this to you in the mail. My Wednesday kits come with all the paper products you need, but if you want to use the same stamp set as I do, I suggest you getting the Pampered Pets stamp set. There's so much value. I did actually the math this time to figure out how much value was in this actual kit of the supplies I used and all the tools, because I use dies and I use embossing folders and paper and big dies. So the value of this kit is over $240. So it's a great deal for you guys to get this kit for free when you order a line, just that $35 order. All right, let's go ahead and get started with card number 1. And this one is this cute puppy dogs. And today I'm using the DSP for all of my puppy dog and kitty cat images because they do not have to be stamped. So these will already come out, cut out for you, and you will just have to attach to your card. For this one, we use some measurements. Let me tell you what they are. So if you're making this at home, you'll know. I have this piece of Whisper White, and it's 2 inches by 5.5. I have my regular card base, my same-o, the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have some of our layered circles cut out, and these are the ones that are scalloped. And then I have our stitched shapes is what I use to cut out our puppy dogs today. And I just ran that through my die cutting machine. And then I have these 2 strips of paper. This is one of my secrets for this one, is that you don't have to use a giant piece of paper to go behind this. We will just use these 2 strips, which are 1/2 inch by 5.5. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's attach these 2, just like how I said. What I will do for this one is I'll put the glue on the back side of this Whisper White. So we're going to go a little bit right there and a little bit right there. Make sure it came out. Sometimes it's hard to see the white glue on white paper. And then we are going to shimmy it. So I'll turn it over and I'll line it up with where I want that to be. Just about there. You guys can see that okay. And I'll do that with the same. I'm using Real Red today. That's the color that coordinates with that DSP, so it was a no-brainer for me. I knew if I wanted to match exactly, that's how I would do that. So I have those two pieces on there. Super nice. And then I can go ahead and finish gluing the back and add that to my card base right now. While we have it out, we might as well. And this one, I want to try to center on this card base. So I could either use a grid paper as a guide, or I just will eyeball it. And I'll say that looks about center to me. Next, let's go ahead and glue on our little puppy dogs. I use liquid glue for these ones. I have so many choices. Let's go ahead and use, I love this one. This is what I call the angry puppy dog. We'll put some glue on the back of that one and just wiggle it so it matches just that little outline there. Oh, make sure it's settled. Set that to dry. This one's super cute, that puppy there. My kids thought that looked like a really big gerbil, but that's a puppy. And we'll stick that one right there. And this one's super cute too, this little cute dog right there. But there's lots of other dogs, so you might get this guy in your kit. Just depends on which one I cut for you. All right, well, those guys are drying. Let me go ahead and show you how we stamp our saying today. It's a really fun tip because we're doing a fun technique with it. What I'm going to do first is grab the stamp that I'm using, which is this one right here. It says, I hope your day is a real treat. But we only want to use the your day in this one. So the best way for me to do that is I use a Stampin' Write black marker. These are one of my favorites. They can go directly on stamps, just like ink, and wipes clean because they are water-based. Not like the blends that are alcohol-based, which you don't want to use on your stamps. But this is the Stampin' Write markers. Sadly, this one is unorderable right now, so hopefully you have it. If not, then you can switch up your colors and do maybe the red instead of the black for that spot. But this black one is unorderable right now. So what I do is I look over here and I have two different tips. I have a brush tip. Let's see if we can get that to focus for you. A brush tip, let me show you. Brush tip on this end and a writing tip on that end. For stamp coloring, you're going to use that brush tip. We'll take off the lid, we'll flip it to the back, and we're going to just color in where it says your day. Just coloring it in, just like so. It's kind of tricky to just read it backwards or upside down too. But we'll color that all in. And on my little strip of paper, I'm going to flip it over and put it on there. We'll go right about there. Perfect. And next I'll use my Enjoy. My Enjoy is just one single one. So that makes it a lot easier for me to use. There you go, right there. And we'll just use regular Real Red ink for that one. And I'll go Enjoy your day. Perfect. This one I did not measure, so you'll just get a strip, and I just will eyeball it and say, that looks like a good enough length there, and that looks like a good enough length there. If you wanted to, you can measure it across, because this was at 2 inches on here, and you can make sure that it goes longer than the 2 inches, so that's some little carryover. Let's go ahead and add our puppy dogs. Let's put this cute guy on top. When you do your circles here, you want to work from the top one to the bottom, and do your middle last. We'll put Angry Puppy over in the bottom. Let me get this back in view for you. See that okay? And put that down right there. Cute. And our last puppy in the middle. So cute. And that way you can kind of space it just by looking in between those two, dividing that space in between. With our saying, we're going to have it flipped that way, and we're going to add this cool trim. I'm going to go ahead and use my stamping seal to help put it in place. And then we're going to use dimensionals to secure it as well. So I'm just going to go, too soon, and try to place it right about in the middle. But I'll give you enough so that you can trim it however you need. And let's get some of those dimensionals on. We'll pop up this card. Put those ones on. One more in the middle. And then we'll flip this over. There we go. Okay, there's our card. We'll stick this just a little bit over that one puppy dog there. You can see my trim is way too long, so I'm going to take my snips and trim that. And I'll do it just at a little bit of an angle. I'll trim this one even too. There we go. And that's that card number 1. Super easy, way cute, an assortment of different puppies together. And that has that fun tip where you can use a marker to color on your stamp to make it just the same that you want. All right, our next puppy dog card does not have any stamping at all. It is this really cute puppy dog one. If you've ever seen Lady and the Tramp, he totally reminds me of Tramp in that movie. So we'll set him right there, you can see. And he was a lover. He wasn't a fighter. He liked to be super sweet to Lady. Got all of our pieces. For this one, I have these little hearts. You can see they'll have punch. Came from the actual dog builder punch. Right there. I have a little heart. I'm going to use that to cut out our hearts for this one. It seemed appropriate to use a dog punch for a dog card, even if it's not the dog we're using. I have my regular card base for this. Again, it's that 8.5 by 5.5 by 4 1/4 scored right there. And we have layers. So I have our inside Whisper White panel. And then I have our basic gray. And you can see this is double-sided, so it has those cute puppies on this side of the DSP. And then it has our stripes on this side. Let's go ahead and glue those down right now. You can either use your liquid glue or you can use your Stampin' Seal. We'll use some liquid glue today. Glue that down so that our edges are nice. And then we can glue that to our card base. These measurements are my usual card paneling measurements. The 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have this at the 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 for that DSP. And I have all these measurements will be up on my blog after we're done with this video. Let's keep on gluing. This is pretty easy. Like I said, there's no stamping. This is the In Color Just Jade DSP, and it's double-sided. So I have this one that I'm going to use with the little spots. I love spots with stripes, so it's a perfect match. Like that. Then we can attach our cute little guy here. And we can use dimensionals for him. Either the mini or the regular. And we'll flip him over and get him placed on there just right. I did cut out some letters, so I have the word hi that we can glue on here. Let's make sure I can find my I, though. That's the tricky thing about these letters. Sometimes they get lost in all of the mess. Let's see if I can find it. If not, then we'll have to leave an H and I'll cut another I later. But I'm not seeing that I. All right, so we will just use our H and get it ready, and then I'll cut an I later. It's a little bit of glue on here. Doesn't need too much. We don't want it to squish. I'll leave some room for that I for later. And then we have our card base. We'll bring it back over here. And I'll bring our sample so you can see what we're doing still. We're going to liquid glue this one on. And I like to tilt it just a little bit. Kind of give some space difference. Then I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of this high square. And you probably get away with just 3 if you make it into a triangle shape. The bigger the image, the more dimensionals you would need in order to make it still be stable and not sag. No one wants a saggy card. All right, the next part we have is just our hearts and our inside panel. So let me go ahead and show you the trick for the hearts that I like to do. So I have these 3 hearts here. And let me get my take a pick tool that has that putty sticky edge right here. I'm going to put the glue directly on my DSP. So I want 1 heart here. And I want 1 heart here. Following the rule of odds, again, you guys will always see me doing that in these videos. I rarely will have even numbers. And I'll just tilt these hearts just a little bit. I see 2 friends watching. Be sure to comment and tell me what you think, or if you've made this card or cards similar to this before. I do have a really cute bow on this guy. And all I did was take this Playful Pets trim, and we'll just tie a bow out of it. And that will be provided in the kit as well. The ribbons. The ribbon and paper are all provided. You just need to provide ink and the stamp set that you would like to use to finish this kit. And like I said, I suggest just that bundle. If you have a die cutting machine, get the bundle for this one. It's $39.50, I believe, which is just a little bit over than the amount that you needed to spend to get this kit for free. All right, glue dot to his cute littleness. Love it. I'm going to trim off his tails just a little bit. Not his puppy tails, his ribbon tails. There we go. Big bows are pretty popular right now, though. If he was a girl dog, I would put it right up there. All right, the last part of this is just putting in our Whisper White insert to the inside. Because it's such a dark card base, you want to make sure that you have something that someone could write on. So I will just put the Whisper White insert that's the same size as the front panel. And we'll get my bone folder to make it nice and crisp. And I'm telling you that missing that H, but I might even change it actually and cut out a B and make it a happy birthday one. But isn't that so sweet? There's our little puppy guy right there. We'll set him aside and go to the next card, which is our kitty cats. And our first one we're going to do is this fun window one. This one is super fun and easy to make. And after you've made one like this, you'll say, oh, I should make more just like these, because that's how easy they are. Let me give you some of the measurements, though, because they're a little different than our traditional card. So for our card base this time, we have it at 5.5 by 6 1/4, and I scored it at 4 1/4 right there along that 6 1/4 side. That gives us 2 inches right here. And then we have our white piece of paper from the inside, which is our usual 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have some of our paper measurements here for our DSP, the 5 1/4 by 1 3/4, and our 5 1/4 by 3 3/4 for that bottom one right here. And I have to tell you a funny story. So I started prepping this one, and I put glue on the back of this other side that I wanted. And so I saved this one. So we're going to flip this card, and I'm going to have this one have the lettering on this side, and this one will have the cute kitty cat DSP on here, which is a great thing about DSP. You could totally switch it up however you need. Let's get one real cute. Okay, let's go ahead and get started and ask questions along the way. I will answer them later. Our window sheet for this one is, I did cut it at 5.5 by 3. If that gives you an idea. Let's go ahead and start gluing. We'll get our piece right here glued and ready. So these cats one's fussy cut and the other has a matching die to cut it out on the DSP. Yours will come ready to go. The one that's fussy cut, I will let you fussy cut him, but the one that comes, this one right here, he was cut out already using a die. So he's cute and ready to go. This one I fussy cut, and I will show you how to do one cat on the other card to give you an idea. Let me get this one so you can zoom in a little bit. He's so cute and not too hard to cut, honestly. Fussy cutting gets a bad rap because it seems tedious and long, which it can be, but once you know all the secrets, it's not bad at all. We're going to put some of this liquid glue on the back of this paper real quick and flip it and put it inside of our card. Like that. We're going to flip that over as we get our DSP on this one. Make sure I'm gluing it on the right sides. There we go. We'll put this one, and when they're words, make sure you have them right side up. These words are super cute. They're kitten or cat words. It says yawn, paw, jump, love, meow, purr, snooze, and it repeats over and over again. So super fun paper. I am more of a dog person, only because I am really allergic to cats, and I have to take medicine if I'm ever prescription medicine if I'm ever near a cat. So I try to avoid them if possible. Okay, so for this next part, let's go ahead and put our paper just like that. We'll fold it over and we'll see why. I need my scene for this one, and hopefully I have it nearby. I hope yep, we used it earlier for this one. I hope your day's a real treat. And the secret to this one is we're using just a Memento ink. You could use any color that matches along with it. But I'm going to lay this down and ink my spot right now so I know where to place it. Like that. So I'll push this down, line it up right there, press, and up, and I got it. Then we're going to add our window sheet. So the secret of a good window sheet is to have adhesive on the cardstock so you can't see it. So we're going to use our stamp and seal. Just press along and check it off like that. We'll add our window sheet. Just lining it up right there. And then we're going to do the same thing to this one. I have my window sheet a little too long, so I will trim that after I'm done here, which is fine. I usually give myself a little bit more wiggle room. So this one then, we are going to put the adhesive on this one as well. And then we are going to line it up for the bottom of this card right here. And like I said, I will trim off that excess window sheet in just a minute. And there we go. I've created a really awesome window for this card. Now we just need to add our cute little kittens. And we'll glue these ones on. Actually, I used dimensionals in this one. So let me go ahead and show you how I did that. I'll put probably about 2. Okay, show me my secret right now. I'm going to cut some of these edges off and use those. And there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes I make them different sizes, but I usually just will go through them like that. And then I will put down dimensional. And we'll flip this one over and add this cute little cat. This guy, we're going to have him overlap just a little bit. So what we're going to do for him is only put a dimensional on one side of him because he's going to be overlapping this cat who's already popped up. So we don't want too much dimensions on there or it to look uneven. So I'm going to put it, let me see if I can get that off, actually over closer to his tail. And had enough wiggle room that time. And we're going to pop him up just like that. Cute little cat. Now to attach this guy, the secret is you want dimensionals only on the top and the bottom, nothing in the middle, so that when the window's open, you don't see your adhesive on there. So we're just going to put that. And if you don't have dimensionals, you could totally just use glue at this point, but just make sure you don't put anything in the middle. this one. All right, we'll line it up like that. Oh, see, I need to take that off. Look, I didn't line up very well. Make sure you don't cover your words. This is a good example of what not to do with your kit. Oh, we got it. Maybe just a little bit. Not too bad. So I'm going to peel that one off. We can save this, don't worry. We'll give it a new dimensional. We just might have to add some more embellishments later. Make sure, there we go. I hope your day's a real treat. So he just scooted over just a little bit. And next time, I would suggest moving that over just a little bit more, like this card. But there you go, two cute cats, and their DSPs flip, so you see the two different ways it would look. Fun, fun. All right, one more cat card to go, and we are done with today's class. You guys have been so awesome for staying and watching. This one is by far one of the cutest ones. Again, you heard me say earlier, I'm not a cat person. I'm more of a dog person. I have a dog, but I can't have cats because I'm super allergic. But these cats are so cute, especially the grumpy cat right there. So this one's really fun. And in your kit, you will get it. Your cats will look like this on a sheet of DSP, and you will have to cut them out yourself. I won't do that for you. I'll let you do it just in case you want some extra border to it, or however, I'll let you play with it the way you want to. But I've already cut out my cats, all but one, because I did want to show you how to do it. So I have this cute little guy right here. Let's fussy cut him out. So fussy cut just means cutting around something with scissors, and it's called fussy because it takes a little bit of time. But you want to use the crook of your scissors just to go around, and you're going to move your paper and not so much your scissors. Go around like that. Our kittens here have some nice cute whiskers that I don't want to ruin. So what I do for that one, so I can get this to focus nice so you can see it, is I will do a little triangle in the inside, like one snip there, and then I'll meet it on the other side there. And I'll just pull out that little triangle, and I'll have my little whiskers still intact. Like that. And this one, you want to make sure that you cut out his little paws, because we'll use that in a second to attach to the twine, which is super fun and cute. Okay. You fussy cut him out. Oh, as I bump you, sorry about that. You can still see okay. Have all of our kittens. The next part we need to do is to make holes into this paper. So I am using a 1-inch punch, which Stampin' Up! No longer carries, but this is a retired one. If you happen to have this would be great. In your kit, however, I will have yours already punched out to look like this when you get your kit. So you don't have to worry, but this is just if you're making this card at home and want to figure out how did she do that. So I'm going to have my regular piece of real red cardstock, the 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use my punch. And when I do my punch, you can see that there's an end to it right here. I'm going to push my cardstock so it meets this end as a way to measure how far I'm going. So I'm going to put this all the way in until I can't push it in anymore, and then I will punch. And I want to give myself just a little bit of wiggle room on that edge. And I'll do this bottom, and then I'll do my top. Same thing, push it all the way in. There we go. And then I'll do my 2 middles. And I'll make sure I have enough room for all of these holes. One more. Right there. There we go. I had a friend that said this kind of looks like a tree cat. You know those cat stands where cats can go in and play? And it totally does. All right, we made lots of messes. Let me get this card over here so you can see it a little bit. And let's go ahead and do our stamping for this one. I used the well-written stamp set for this guy. And how I did it was I have 2 of the stamps separately. I didn't put the birthday on this one, but this one does say birthday. That one's the happy. And that way you can space it however you want. And I use the memento ink. If you don't have the well-written stamp set, you can use whatever that will fit on this cute little black or gray smoky slate piece of paper. We'll do happy, and we'll get our birthday in there. And I'm going to give you a piece that's long enough that you can trim it afterwards. And for trimming, you just take your snips and go straight up and go straight over. And there's our cute happy birthday saying, so that one's ready to go. All right, you ready to figure out how to build this awesome cat tree? Oops, as I shake you. First, we need to add our DSP strip right here. So let's go ahead and get our glue. And we'll put some on there. I'm using that same fun word DSP for this strip here. Like that. Next, we're going to do this card stock behind it. But we only want glue on this side. So I'm going to go like this on the back and we'll glue it in there. And I'm actually using my stamping seal for this one to give me just a little bit of wiggle. Okay. Go like this on this back side because we don't want it just to be white or that red actually. Otherwise, this would have had that card base background. So I had that basic gray to give us a little bit of a different colors there. All right, and you don't want to glue that because you want to have some wiggle room to get our kitty cats into their little holes. All right, next, let's go ahead and put in our big kitty. Our mean kitty, I should say. She's the trickiest because she has whiskers. But we'll put her in just so carefully into this bottom here so you can see her. She's been fussy cut out. And there we go. For this one, all I would do was put just a little bit of glue right there and squish her in. And she's in her hole. Next, because of the way we have it, we need to do our twine. And all I do, I'll have it measured for you guys, but I usually never measure my twine. I usually will wrap it and see how much I need, and then I'll cut it. So go like that, and this one will need a knot in it, just a regular knot, one tie in it and one tie in it. And we need enough for the kitty cat to play with. So I won't trim that yet, but I needed that to go so I could put my little stretching kitty cat over there. And what I suggest you doing is to play with these holes before you put glue on them. This one, let me get that back in there, sorry. This kitty cat is going to go right into there. So if she doesn't have paws in the front, or you don't have to cut these paws out as nicely. You can just, because they're going to be hidden. And for her, I did put a little bit of glue in there, and then I put a dimensional on her back. So I'll give her paws some glue and push her in so her face is just cute there and her belly is resting on that bottom hole. And then we'll grab a dimensional and put that on her back side. Get that there. Just like that. Take off the backing. And smush her down. Perfect. Okay, next we need our playful kitty. So we would see where we need to go first. We know we'll just slide it in that way, just like that. So we'll add just a little bit of glue on here and stick that kitty cat in. Then we're going to give this kitty cat something to play with. Just use that twine and stick it in between those two cut spots of its feet. And you can trim it however you want or keep it long. Looks like this kitty cat's playing with it now too. And then we have our last kitten. This one is a little bit trickier because we glued down that side, but not too bad. We just want to have her fluffy tail out. So we'll put just a little bit of glue on her backside and sneak her in there. Lift up that back right there. Perfect. For mine, I kind of put this part of the twine back through here, so it's not just as loopy falling. And let's play with that little guy a little bit. And you can trim it however you need. I will give you plenty. The next part, we need to put some dimensionals on the back, and then we will attach it to our card base. Look at all those little kitty cats coming out there trying to play. This one, I suggest using at least the 9 dimensionals. 3 across, 3 in the middle, and 3 on the bottom. I might need to cut some more. Let's do that real quick. I always try to use up all of the dimensionals on every single of my sheets because they still work great even though they're not the little hexagon shape. So put all of those dimensionals in our corners and in our middles so that way this card has some stability. And we'll get out our card base and we will take off the backings. This probably takes the longest part, just taking off these backings, but that's okay. Totally worth it to get that pop. All right, let's put our kitty cat right there. Oh, we can't forget our happy birthday saying. So let me grab this little piece here, and you're gonna play with it. It looks like it'll fit nicely there, but because it's littler, I will use my mini ones and go at least 3, just like that. And we'll place this one right about there for our happy birthday. We'll crease it, use our bone folder, and grab our white piece for the center. And this one will be done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know these are busy days, and if you're catching the replay, that's totally fine. Still comment. I love to hear what you have to say about these cards. And if it's something that you want to make as well. And there is our kitty in the kitty tree. 3 kitty cats. Super cute. There's all of our cards we made today. The window sheet one, our puppy that says hi, and our 3 puppies that say enjoy your day. I hope you guys do enjoy your day. And thank you again so much for watching this. And be sure to order if you want this kit for free by Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Have a great week, you guys. See you next week. Bye.